Welcome back to today's video, and I am super excited because today I'm going to be sharing with you my 8 tips to help improve your dog photography. Tip number 1 is stay. It's super important to have a really good stay, which will allow you to walk away from your dog and then take the picture. So you want to start in your back garden. So get with the dog sat in front of you, they're less likely to wander off if you get them into a sit. Make sure you got some treats, and then you're going to say wait, and then after a few seconds you'll reward, and then you want to slowly increase the time that you say wait to when you give them the treat. And then once you have that down, then you want to slowly increase the distance between you and your dog so that you're imitating walking away with your camera to take the picture. Tip number 2 is watch me. Not always, but sometimes you're going to want the dog to look straight down the camera. It's going to give the image that little bit more of emotion. So start with your dog again, sat in front of you. You don't want to say anything, you just want your treats. You want to put the treat up to your face, and then the second the dog looks at you, you then reward. And then just keep repeating that process, treat up to your eye, reward the second they look at you. Once you get that down and you're happy with that, then that's when you can treat up to the eye, watch me. The second they look you in the eye, you reward, watch me, reward, watch me, reward. Once you're happy with that and that's a solid watch me, then you can start to slowly increase the distance when your dog is in a sit and stay. You then can move away, say watch me, reward, watch me, reward. And then once you get a good distance away, you're basically imitating so that when you take a picture, you can say watch me, and then you get straight eye contact down the camera, and then you take your picture, and then you're super happy. Tip number 3 is know how to change your camera settings while the camera's up to your face. There's nothing worse than putting your dog into a nice position and then you've got a nice light, and then you start then faffing around with your camera settings because you don't know how to change them. The dog gets frustrated, impatient, and then just walks away, and then you get a little bit frustrated because you're like, I really want to get that light, but then you then have to set everything back up. So just learn how to use the camera when you're at home, you sat on the sofa, know how to change your ISOs, your apertures, and your shutter speeds, and then when you're in the field, you then know how to change it real quick, and everything's a lot smoother, a lot faster, and then everybody's a lot happier because you get your picture again. Tip number 4 is to shoot at eye level. Not always do you have to do this. There are occasions where you can get away with shooting down. If like you're playing with a toy and you wanted to show that in an image, you could do that, but generally you're going to want to shoot at eye level. This works in other areas of photography also. It just shows what it looks like to be at your subject's level and in their world. Just puts a little bit more intimacy into the image, and it just makes the image look a little bit more appealing when you're at their eye level. So shoot at eye level. Tip number 5 is to keep your backgrounds clean. So before you take the picture, have a look in the background, what is behind your subject. Let's say there's trees. You don't want them growing out the top of your subject's head. It's going to look distracting. Also, you don't want things in the background that's going to distract the viewer from your image. So just have a little look around before you take the picture. You might need to step slightly left, slightly right, or completely find a new spot if there's things growing all over the place, because it will be distracting and it will take the viewer's eye away from your subject. Tip number 6 is to use wide open apertures where possible. So that means use a smaller number, closer to 1. By using a wider aperture, it's going to let more light into the camera, but also it's going to blur the background, so it's going to help your subject stand out. It's also going to give depth to your image, and it's just going to make it look more appealing. Tip number 7 is to expose the image before you bring your subject in. So let me explain. So you're in the woods and there's a tree near to where you're going to take the shot. Set your exposure roughly to the tree so that when you bring your dog in, your settings are already set. This goes back to know how to change the settings so that your dog doesn't get frustrated. If you're roughly set with your exposure, when you bring your dog in, you can expose to the exposure of your dog, take the shot, and then you can reward, and then your dog can be off. You don't want to just be faffing trying to get the exposure of your dog while your dog is sat there waiting. Again, they're going to get bored, they're going to walk off. You possibly will get a little bit frustrated. Tip number 8 is to pay your subject. So again, the subject is our dogs. We want to have some nice juicy treats for them that they really enjoy. By paying them with the treats, it's going to keep their attention on you more. It's also going to stop them from hopefully getting bored, so that you can spend a little bit more time getting the shot. And everybody likes to get paid, so pay your subject. And lastly, make sure you have lots of fun, keep the treats coming, keeps your dog entertained and interested in doing the session, and also keep the sessions nice and short so your dog doesn't get bored. And that's it for today's video. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, if I missed anything or if there's anything else that you'd like to know. Comment below and I will get back to you there. And be sure to hit that subscribe button. And guys, I will see you soon.